Woo! We got a kicker. So this season, for my premiere season, I did 6 episodes, and for this one, this is number 8. I need to find the spiritual significance of number 8. Yeah, I need to look that up. But anyway, this felt good to stop here because I'm tired. I have 0 energy. But we started off the year with the resolutions or nah, which was really fun because I asked you guys to stop FaceTiming me, and it seems to be effective. I do want you guys to continue this on when I have the baby. Don't try to FaceTime me. Can I see your baby? No. Text me first. See if I would like to FaceTime. Let's stick to the resolutions. Our second episode was Therapy, Do We Need It or Not, with my bestie, Quinell Hickman, who dropped us some really great gems. I know that some of you since that episode have actually sought out a therapist, so that's super awesome. Make sure that you are telling your therapist the truth. Don't go into your therapy sessions as your representative. You cannot get help if you're bullshitting. You gotta be honest. Therapy is not easy. It's literally you being 100% vulnerable and trying to really fix what's happening. If you go in lying to the therapist, you're really lying to yourself, because guess what? They're still getting paid. Another tool about therapy is that therapists, I was watching this guy on the news, like, oh, I don't want to go to therapy. I didn't nobody telling me what to do. Therapists do not tell you what to do, bro. They ask you questions that make you question yourself, and then you wind up sorting things out yourself. They can guide you, but really it's a lot of you talking through your feelings. Then you say something, then they'll be like, so why do you feel that way? Go to therapy. Episode 3 we had was the Clean Slate Act with Zaki Smith, aka Michael Smith. We gotta get his government, which was really great because us non-convicts learned a lot about how it feels to be a convicted felon and all of the collateral damage that's associated with that. So that was great. Episode 4 was Family Dynamics, and we obviously briefly went through everyone not growing up in a 2-parent home, or those of us who did grow up in a 2-parent home, right, may not have always seen a healthy relationship or healthy love. It's 2024. The family dynamics look completely different. There are families who live in 2 separate homes. There are families who live together. Haitian people don't break up. The parents sleep in separate bedrooms, and they raise the kids as if the kids are stupid. I'm grateful that my mom didn't do that because, like, my parents are so happy in their own homes and living their own lives. Family dynamics are what you make it, right? Don't stay with somebody for the picture of the family. We have all sorts of families. Respect the family dynamics. Relationship issues, which was a really good one. Oh yeah, Ashley, your parents too. They ain't have time for that. We're not living together and beefing. Get out. Relationship issues. We spoke about everything outside of cheating because obviously we know cheating is common. Like it is what it is. And it's talked about. Okay, it's talked about enough. And I didn't want to. Bruh, I have a hair in my eye. Oh no. I don't do. Where did it go? Okay, I think it fell. Whew. I don't do eyeballs, y'all. So if something goes in my eye, this conversation tonight is done. Hi, Alexis. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Miss Nina Mosley. Miss Garcia in the house. So we talk about relationship issues, everything outside of cheating, which is communication. Like people have communication issues, support. Sometimes your family doesn't like your spouse. So that makes it harder for you to be with that person. What other relationship issues? Finances, baby. I bumped into one of my friends at the park the other day, and he was like, oh my God, you're the only pregnant person I know who's on the most trips. And I'm like, yeah, and because of that, I'm eating ice every night. Ice and rice. Because we ain't got it. So it's like finances are a big deal in relationships. What are you willing to sacrifice for the things that you really want? And we really wanted to go on these trips, so sacrifices had to be made. I haven't had Philippe's all year, and this is May. I have not eaten 5-star all year in this country. Right? I don't know. But I got to get it together. Y'all, my auntie who's in Atlanta, who's a therapist, she just crossed AKA. Auntie, I don't want to give you age. My auntie in her 60s, and it just goes to show, like, if you have a dream and you really want to do something, please go after your dream. There is no age limit to doing what you need to do. My friend Miss Nina Mosley, she wanted to cross Delta the whole time we were undergrad, and things just didn't work out, right? And she found her tribe in her grad chapter, and she's so happy, throwing up her diamonds. So now we're going to be, I don't want to make you guys noises. I don't know what's offensive or not. So y'all can make y'all noises in the chat and battle each other. But Tamika, that's still my auntie, so be respectful. Oh yes, I was on a yacht eating some swine. The ribs on that yacht was alright. Not gonna hold you. No, I will not make a noise. My friend Cornell is also a Delta, but she crossed undergrad. Anyway, the point is that there's no age limit to what you want to do. If you have a dream, if you have anything in your heart, you want to write a book, write that book. You want to run a marathon, run that marathon. You want to leave your spouse, hit the road, Jack. Anything that you aspire to do before you die, please do it. Don't die with any regrets. After relationship issues, we had hot topics, which was really fun. We spoke about a clown who's our mayor. His name is Eric Adams, and we will revisit him tonight because he just loves to give us content. And then 2 weeks ago, we had the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Chad Scott in reference to Are You the Issue? And just talking about, it was really reference to our singles, who can't find a spouse, and just like, are you the issue? Like, there has to be some accountability. The weird part is that there are people who think they're being accountable and they're not. When you have a problem in your life, look at both ends of the spectrum. How did I participate in this problem? And how did the other person participate, right? And what did I do that could have been a little misleading or could be wrong? Just be kind, y'all. Hey, Afua. Hey, Karen. So tonight, hot topics. Nina, I was the issue. Sometimes I'm still the issue. Listen, it's accountability, okay? I already told you guys I was falling in love in the second hour. This my husband. That's the issue. That's a stage 5 clinger, okay? And the scary part was that the poor man didn't even know it, okay? Had no clue what was happening. So let's jump right into our hot topics. Tonight, I just want to update you guys on a few things that we discussed last time, and obviously there's been so much happening since. So for my New York City folks, congestion pricing is officially effective on June 30th. For those who are not in New York, just imagine trying to get to the city in your city. So if you're in Richmond, trying to be in downtown Richmond, and after any exit you get off the highway, you're being told or charged $15, which is a round trip to be in and out. It's ridiculous. We got potholes, we got rats, we got rapists, we got dirt. So effective June 30th, it's going down. They have installed 180 cameras from the Brooklyn Bridge to the Ed Koch Bridge, which is located on 59th Street. So hop on your good foot, use MTA, or pull up in the city after 9 p.m. This is Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday is 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'll say I didn't tell y'all. Are you guys watching basketball? Oh, School funding is still getting cut. Where's this money going to? Like, you know what the MTA said? The MTA said, oh, y'all want to work from home? MTA is our public transit system for those who don't live here. And obviously they lost millions, maybe billions of dollars once COVID hit and people no longer commuted. And then offices decided, hey, we're saving a lot of money on rent. with these people not being in the office, they're actually working longer and harder from home. So we're going to leave them at home. And so the MTA is trying to find a way to recoup their money. And so now they're like, well, these people are driving now, so we're going to just tax the cars. Yeah, I'm not retiring in New York. I've made up my mind a long time ago. There's no way I can live here and enjoy my money or lack thereof, because they're going to take it all. And like 2 of my friends moved to Texas and they're on a New York salary. Shout out to them. Okay, are you guys watching basketball? I don't. I watched the last 5 minutes of the Knicks game because I don't watch games unless I'm in the arena. And I can't afford to be in the arena for no playoffs, so. Come to Florida. Girl, they banning books. They forcing women to have children. I ain't coming to Florida. Out South Beach. So anyway, if you're from New York, I expect to see what I've seen in the last 2 comments, which is go Knicks. I get it. Knicks have been the worst NBA team for years. But guess what? When they're your home team, you gotta root for them. I'm sharing a bed with someone who is not rooting for the Knicks. I get it. The Knicks not his team. He goes for the Lakers and he goes for the Saints when it's for football. But cut our people a little. These are our people. My bestie's in love with the Knicks. She keeps me updated. They got a redhead on the Knicks. Hello. I'm trying to say what's up. No, I'm married. Wait. Look, I'm married, but I ain't blind. Are you a Bucks fan? I also shared a womb. I mean, if it was 5 years apart with someone who also doesn't like the Knicks. And he said he's a Knicks hater. His name is Kim. We shared a womb. It's really wild. So my bestie last night said she's going to get my newborn son some New York Knicks gear so that we could leave the hospital with it and really piss my husband off. But let's go Knicks. I really like to see an underdog win. Whenever I watch a game with my husband, well, he's watching and I'm on Instagram, I'll ask, who's the underdog? And then he'll tell me who. And then I'll be like, all right, I want the underdog to win. Even for the Super Bowl. Like, I'm the underdog in every story. Everything has happened for me in my life super late after my friends. So I need to root for people who look like me. His son is also a Knicks hater. Wow. I'll get a Knicks jersey when they make it to the chip. Retire in the islands. Which island can I retire in? Because definitely not Haiti. I might have to retire in my homeland of Mexico because that's where I feel safe. Oh no, they have a lot of cartel. Can't call it. Y'all pray for me. But yeah, let's keep rooting for the Knicks. Let's find some Knicks love. Curacao. I need to go to Curacao. The pictures are so beautiful. Justin vowed that if the Knicks win the chip, he will wear a jersey 3 days in a row. I said that it should be every weekend for the entire summer. Like, let's just do it all the way. Jamaica. Yeah, the food was really good in Jamaica. I was thinking about Jamaica earlier today too, randomly thinking about more vacations that I cannot afford currently. But I like to manifest more trips with no money. I went to Vegas one time. I think I was telling you guys this story last time. When I met a guy and we wound up dating for 9 months. And I went out there with $150 to Las Vegas, Nevada, y'all. I was on unemployment, probably a year or 2 out of college, had no job, and decided the smart thing to do would be to go to Vegas. My friend was like, hey, my boyfriend is paying for the room. Just get your flight out here. I used 1 week of my unemployment to pay one way. The next week I used the other way, and I had $150 while I was out there. Okay, and I ate McDonald's, Denny's, whatever was $4 or $5. I had to eat 3 meals a day. And my 3 friends were like, hey, I think they were going to Ruth Chris. Ruth what? That guy who said he's not gay no more, I forgot his name, Andrew. Andrew something Caldwell. He wrote yesterday he had $25 and he was going to Ruth Chris. He's like, what should he get? And everybody was like, the hell out. Like, you can't do nothing with those $25 at Ruth Chris. And I wasn't blowing my 150 in one place. But God came through because he knew I had no coins. And we happened to be in the room and the phone was ringing. We answered and like, hey, do you want an extra night in the room for $100? And we're like, absolutely. But also, we don't have $100 between us. So, here's a little trickaroo if you guys are ever broke. The ATMs in casinos allow you to overdraft. They will never stop you. Like, literally, you could take out $1,000 if you have $0 in your pocket, and the ATM will let you take out money. Now, you're going to deal with the consequences later, but again, I had another check coming in on Thursday. Later wasn't an issue. Right now was an issue. Look at God. Anyway, back to the Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Go for your home team. And yes, Alize, we stayed a day later because we got a flight. We couldn't afford to fly out Memorial Day. So we had to fly the day after and had no room. Because my friend who got her room, her boyfriend paid for her to leave on Memorial Day. But I could not afford to leave on Memorial Day. Okay, and I tell you, I met a boo out there, but I didn't know him. Like, he was a stranger. I can't ask him, can me and my homegirl stay in your room? That's giving threesome vibes. We not doing that. We would have been sleeping in the airport. Shout out to God. Good times. Okay, so let's get back into these hot topics. That's why I go to the spot instead of the casino. Does the spot give you a payday loan? Because that's basically what I took. I took a payday loan from that ATM. I took out exactly $200, paid $100 for that room, and then I had $100 to survive until Thursday because I knew that my bank was gonna charge me $35 for this overdraft fee, and then my $200 was gonna be collected. So $235, and I think unemployment was like 3 something at the time. Excuse me. Kendrick versus Drake. This is out of my league. I'm not a hip hop rap head. But if you have ears and humor, this was truly entertaining for the last few days. I think, what's today? Today's the 9th. So the 3rd was like the most epic day because I think Kendrick dropped 2 songs that day. And Drake dropped 1 song, and I see some owls going up, so we have some Drake fans in here. It was entertaining. Do you guys care if it's facts versus cap? Or are you just here for the laughs? We were talking about it today in my group chat because Drake's people want like a retraction from Kendrick in reference to this pedophile comment. And I wrote and I said, well, he said Kendrick beat his wife and that his kid ain't his. So I think we're pretty even. And my friend said, yeah, no, you'll never be even with a pedophile claim on your name. She's right. But I also heard that there's no fair ones in street fights. So for somebody who's been on the porch her whole life, I think I know a lot. I think I know if they go low, you're taken to the flow, okay? This is not Michelle Obama. Nobody's going high. Not one person. Do you guys appreciate that J. Cole decided to mind his mother effing business? The day that J. Cole released that this doesn't feel right in his spirit, initially I was like, nigga, what? But literally 2 minutes later, I'm like, I feel that. Like, it's not in his spirit. Like, yo, I actually don't even feel like beefing. Just like Kendrick said, I'm sorry I live a boring life. I like peace. Like, J. Cole said, bro, I done got married and had 2 kids and y'all know nothing. He likes to ride his bike in the street and mind his goddamn business. Cole's the God. Cole's the God. He told y'all. January 28th. Cole's the God. He don't have time for nonsense. Sometimes you got to mind your business. Yes, a lot of you guys in the comments owe Cole an apology. Because I was going in. I was like, no, don't disrespect him. He got to follow your spirit. Spirit never lies. Your spirit is also your intuition, right? For those of you who go to church, what we do? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Hello. For those of you who don't go to church, who don't have a study of religion, but are spiritual, right? Still, it's your gut. It's the energy. You know something not right. He knows that Kendrick wasn't really coming for him. Kendrick was coming for Drake. He just caught a stray. Because, again, there are casualties in war. So I guess nobody really cares if it's cap versus facts. But they're shooting at Drake's house. They're trying to put it on Kendrick. That's a little odd. We don't know what beef Drake had prior. We don't know anything. This is a whole different country. Them putting Not Like Us at the OVO store in London is wild. You know, some fans just take it too far. They ain't got no job. And they ain't getting no bitches. Because who has time to be doing that? But the shooting and his security guard currently being in critical condition. He was shot in the chest. That's actually really sad. Like, I don't want to see... this girl said, we don't know if OVO set it up. You're gone too far, Biggs. You're gone too far. People were trolling, saying like, oh, the security guard was the mole. So Drake shot his own security. Like, y'all are wild. I want y'all to put all this energy into y'all votes. Because this is an election year. But we're going to get to that next. Anyway, so Boosie, who's the most controversial, always talking about somebody's children, somebody's wife, somebody this, somebody that, saying, oh, he hates to see two black men pinned against each other. We shouldn't be rooting for Drake versus Kendrick, light skin versus dark skin. This is hip hop. As long as it doesn't get to Tupac and Biggie, which also was caused by a lot of journalism at that time. My friend Sarita Gates is producing a book and a film and a docuseries about the writers who contributed to a beef that was between just Biggie and Tupac, and they made it literally East Coast versus West Coast. That's the shit that J. Cole seen coming, and he was like, no. People are going to add the gas to this, and it's going to turn into something that it doesn't need to be. So, yeah, Boosie and Questlove, they're like, oh, we don't want to see this. Charlamagne made a funny comment. He's like, oh, Questlove, when Hov was singing Takeover Live, you was back there playing the drums. Where was it all this peace talk when he was saying he was having sex with Nas' baby mother? Y'all really pick and choose your battles. But also growth, right? Like, he could be grown now. That was ages ago. He could grow up now and realize, like, yeah, that wasn't cool. Because what happened? Hov apologized. Like, Hov's mom made him apologize. He said, you went too far with that one. Bring it back. Yeah, Boosie's hilarious. He cracks me up. But he not talk about people's children. That's the line. Anyway, this is an election year. I told you guys before, and I'm going to tell you guys again. Please go vote. It's Trump or Biden. Don't try to vote for no third party. But if you do, okay, I'll accept it. But you have to vote. And the Biden administration has decided they want a piece of the Drake and Kendrick battle. I posted on my story yesterday. You guys know in the part of Euphoria when Kendrick Lamar goes in about how he hates how Drake looks, he hates how he dresses, he hates his fingernails, he hates the day he was born, blah, blah, blah. Well, they decided to show imagery of Trump and put, I hate the way you don't respect women's rights. I hate the way you are lying under oath. I hate the way you this. And they put Euphoria in the background. I don't know who in Gen Z is in the PR team, on the social media team. Stop it. Stop. Let's bring back the separation of church and state immediately. I don't want to hear current rap battles used as advertisement for our presidential candidates. I do not. But something that's really striking is that they're working on banning TikTok during an election year. So for us millennials, we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And everyone who's above us. Are you guys baby boomers? Whatever. The generation prior to us, they're on Facebook for sure. But Gen Z is only on TikTok. One time my nephew was making something. I can't remember what it was. And I made it 1,000,000 times. Something simple. Maybe it was a pasta or something. Or a chicken something. He specifically asked me, how do I make it? I told him what to do, what to buy. The boy literally writes me and says, that's not how they did it on TikTok. I only cook about 5-6 times a week. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Okay, sir. So I wrote him back and said, follow the TikToks, okay? Because I'm not doing this with you. So this generation doesn't believe in people. They believe what's on TikTok. And you think that banning TikTok in an election year is smart. It's idiotic. You could be using all the propaganda you want to get votes and to get people to come out that day to vote by using TikTok. Tiffany Haddish, she's on a promo tour right now, and she's speaking about her book. She's written another book. And she was saying that, there's all these protests that are happening at universities and colleges all over the United States, specifically here in New York at Columbia University. They literally took over the school and were wilding out. So she was saying that, while we understand, what they're fighting for is correct, there's a war that's happening. And the war needs to end, right? And the United States needs to mind their business. They need to J. Cole the situation. Back up, mind their business. She was saying, we need to recognize that this is also a distraction. A distraction for the real issues that we have here. One, including this is an election year. And they keep on showing Trump in this damn trial. And Stormy Daniels with her explicit sex story. And Roe versus Wade was literally turned over. So she made a good point of it's about to be Handmaid's Tale. We think it's a joke. It's not a joke. Did you guys see Handmaid's Tale? If you haven't, it's a show on Hulu where basically the government decides that normal life will no longer exist. And if you're married with children, you're placed as a hierarchy. You're placed as a family that has more respect than anybody else. If you're divorced or if you're a mother out of wedlock, you will be used as a birthing slave. Ultimately, you'll be used as a surrogate, where the house master will have sex with you. He'll get you pregnant as many times as he needs to. You'll cook, clean. You're literally a slave. If they have overturned women's rights to reproduction, and our ex-vice president is out here having sex with prostitutes with no condoms, what is about to happen? They ban abortions for general public, but I promise you, these people in office are still getting free abortions somehow. They're still finding a way. So don't let all of this stuff clog your brain. I'm extremely sorry for anybody in war. And we're speaking of, they're speaking of genocides in this particular country, but there are genocides happening all over the world. There are genocides happening in Africa. A lot of low-level countries that we don't hear about because the United States doesn't fund them. This story has taken precedence because, not precedence, that's the wrong word, priority, I guess, because United States is funding. I get it, you guys are angry. Let's be angry about some shit that's happening here, like congestion pricing. Let's break all 180 cameras. Bang, 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 bang. That's the kind of stuff we need to be focusing on. Also, we had Kathy Houchel, who is our governor. She's the governor of New York State as well as New York City. Kathy Houchel said that we have kids in the Bronx who don't even know what a computer is. Girl. The Bronx is not my favorite borough. But one thing you gonna know about ghetto children, they got all the technology and they know exactly what it is. Have y'all know, is that one family on y'all block or in your family, ghetto, ain't got nothing. Ain't got an education, ain't got a savings account, but they got a PS5, an iPhone, an iPad, a laptop. And yes, there are a lot of families who are living in poverty who do not have laptops, who cannot afford to have a computer at home, right? We noticed that when we were in COVID, when the schools had to purchase laptops and send them home. And then they were telling the parents, teach your kids. People who have never had laptops, they've never used a computer. When my mom went to nursing school in 1985, everything was written. When they started bringing in computers, my mom was literally freaking out, like, oh, we have to chart in the computer, I can't do this, I'm gonna retire. And let's say around the time, she could have been like 45 when they were bringing this in, but it was a whole new world for her. So some people, elderly, may not know how to use it, but these kids are using computers at school. Kathy, what are you talking about? Were you not here for the whole COVID? How could these kids not know what a computer is? And they spent 2 years homeschooled. And they go to school with computers. Every public school has a computer. Kathy, I know Cuomo was out here wilding, and you wasn't my first pick. But when Cuomo left and you were showing up, you know, there was people who had died, like we had a flood, like New York City had so much rain one night that people who lived in basement apartments got trapped, and sadly they were killed, and it was a bunch of crime happening, and she was pulling up to the scene. I was like, okay, she's pretty active. Our governors usually stay upstate. They don't come down to the city because it's real down here, and if you're not real, you ain't gonna survive. Excuse me. But that was the most tone deaf, ignorant, I got a lot more to say, but I'm going to be mindful. You cannot be governor of one of the largest metropolitans in the United States, possibly in the world, and say that children of a particular borough don't know what a goddamn computer is. Those kids will get on the computer and hack your ass. Literally. There are kids in the Bronx in STEM programs studying engineering, etc. Have a seat. Literally have a seat. Like, between her and Eric Adams is a mess. Ma'am, there was a better way to land that point in New York. Yes, there was such a better way to land the point that New York youth are in need of more resources. My friend works for Nike, and she does a lot of community engagement. And one thing, she was visiting a school and I had a conversation, and she was telling me that there are schools that don't have gyms. I never knew that was possible, that a school does not have a gymnasium. Because how are we promoting health? And how do they have fun? Like, is it giving screen time in school too? Because we're supposed to limit the screen time at home. Are they just getting screen time at school? So there literally is not enough. Okay. Let me rephrase that. There is enough money for every school to have a gym. There is not money being allocated for schools to have gymnasiums. So if our kids are overweight and obese, it's because they was giving y'all asses strawberry milk in your schools, and they're not making you run. We had to run. We had gym, I think 2 to 3 times a week. And when I got to high school, we had gym every other week for a full week. I love gym. I was a gym honey. So Kathy, just like Eric, good luck during voting season, because sometimes I don't trust y'all. You know who I'm talking about too. Eric, always outside Adams. Eric was on a flight coming back from Miami, and a woman who I'm going to presume was white, it's like, are you Eric Adams? Like, gassing them up. Like, you know how you gas somebody up, like you really want to see them or you can't believe it's them? And, oh, let's go back. They are doing the gym in the cafeteria. And the private school that I went to as a kid, from kindergarten to 8th grade, our gym was our cafeteria. So, like, During lunch, they would put up tables, so half of it would be for recess, half of it for lunch. So if lunch was an hour, you do 30 minutes of eating and then 30 minutes of playtime. And then obviously they had gym times before or after. Some schools share gyms, like they go to a bigger school down the block and they have a schedule. Oh wow, this is sad. Take your kids out on the weekends, please. Don't rely on these gyms. Take your kids to the park. Let them stretch their legs. Anyway, so Eric Adams was on a Delta flight. I recognize it from the seats, because I'm trying to become a medallion member, but I ain't got enough money to fly that much. And a woman asked him, "Hey, are you Eric Adams?" And he was just smirking and just so hyped to have a fan. Typical New York nigga. Just hyped to be recognized. And she started cursing him out. She said, "You have the migrants on the street. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You should be ashamed of yourself. And why were you in Miami?" That was her question to him. Why were you in Miami? Because we're in New York dealing with these homeless people, and you out here living your best life. Clown. Anyway, so a couple days later, we realized your boy was on Drink Champs. Are you guys, do you guys know what Drink Champs is? Drink Champs is a hip-hop podcast with Noriega, a.k.a. Nore, and DJ EFN, where they take shots and answer questions. I tried to watch a clip today. I don't believe that Eric Adams was drinking or smoking. But my problem with him is that he is just here for the clout. Why would our governor our mayor need to go on Drink Champs? I get it. You want to do podcasting, radio, and you want to meet the people where they at, but you're taking it too far, bro. He's not getting my vote. I had enough. I really had enough. I really liked him as the Brooklyn borough president, but also I live in Queens, right? So it looked good. But now that he's mine, I don't want him. I really think Eric Adams is preparing for his next job as an entertainment broadcaster. He might be, because I think he has a weekly podcast where he's supposed to address the issues of the city. I'm not sure if he's continued it. But yeah, speaking of social media, it's too much. I love to post. I love Instagram. I love to share with you guys. I love to be in your business. If you break up with your man, please tell me what happened, because I'm invested. If your kid got kicked out of school, tell us what happened. I want to know. Especially if you're that kind of person, like, if you're like, oh, family and shit, like, who did it? Tell me. What's their page? Like, don't make me search. When somebody passes away, can y'all put in the comments, like, what happened? Because I'm always like, oh my God, he was so young. What happened? Like, I'm nosy. And, I know there's time or place. But sometimes we actually don't need to share all of that on social media, right? We need to keep it as entertainment. Let it be a highlight reel. Let's recognize our highs and some of our lows as we've gotten through them or are going through them and need a little support. I say that to say that a teacher is on social media having students take his braids out. If Phoenix, no middle name Crawford, is on anybody's Instagram, a teacher, and she's touching his hair, let me breathe, because I'm about to get upset. I'm going to be the next Kendrick, and I'm not going to be dropping no song about no pedophile. Justin Crawford and Kim Delva are going to be at that school putting the beats on that man. There's a teacher, he could be about 30, 35, and he's apparently, I'll post the clip, it's been like going viral. He's on his laptop. He usually posts a lot about like being a teacher and the joys of being a young teacher and being able to connect and relate to his students. Well, he has 4 female students who I presume are in high school or just really big 8th graders. and they are unbraiding his hair. He has like box braids. They're unbraiding his hair. And his whole point was that, oh, well, they braid hair. They be in class being distracting. They needed something to do. And he was letting young women underage touch him. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Okay? The reality is that teachers shouldn't be touching students anyway. Unless you have my kid. Because my kid she's hugging strangers in the street. I really got to get that girl together. But I've had male teachers who I wanted to hug and they be hit you with the pound. They're not going to jail for you. These young teachers, I get it, you want to be relatable, but no, you cannot allow someone's teenage daughters to braid your hair and you're recording it like a clown. Stop putting everything online. But I'm glad he did that. Because that's how grooming starts, right? First, you let the girl unbraid your hair. Then you let her braid your hair. They were standing up, but you know how it goes. Then, let me sit between your legs. Then, oh, you smell good. You got a boyfriend? Are boys into you? I like you. Jail is not for me. I'm telling you. Touch my kid. I'm going to walk myself to Rikers. Walk myself with my suitcase. Woo! Speaking of teachers, there was another teacher who was on social media, and she was explaining how the students are illiterate. The children that Whitney Houston spoke about, who are the future. If you don't know the lyrics, I don't mind reciting them for you. I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. That's the part they missed in the song. Teach them well and let them lead the way. And when she said teach, what she meant by teach is that not only the teachers in the schools, but also the parents. Okay, everyone is correcting me. They said Whitney was talking about us, not the next generation. You know, I used to go to singing lessons because I really wanted to be a singer. And that was the first song that I learned how to sing. That's before hormones hit and your voice gets a little deeper. But why are these children illiterate? One is because the children are on social media. Are your tweens, are they on social media? Like, if you have a kid who's between 10 and 12, junior high school, are they on social media? Because I don't really know about that. When I was in high school, guys, what was that platform that was on when we were in high school? It was before MySpace. It was called something else. It was when we were in high school. My friends were on that platform. Skonex. Yes, thank you, Amanda. And I wasn't interested. And I was in high school. Then when I was going to college, the summer before college, I went to Atlanta to go hang out with my cousin Vanita, and she was telling me about Facebook, like, oh, you should get on Facebook so you can connect and meet people. And I was so adamant about, like, no, I don't want it. Thank God she got me on Facebook, because I wound up meeting my roommate before I got to school, and the girl told me that she suffers from insomnia and that she'll probably be watching me sleep. So, a white girl who looked very gothic told me, a black woman who's coming to a Commonwealth state, that she was going to watch me sleep. My cousin said, yeah, she got the right one. My cousin asked she was pretending to be my mom. She wrote a letter to the school, like, screenshot the conversation, and was like, yeah, no, she needs a new roommate immediately. And then I got my roommate, Nakia, who I wound up living with for 4 years. Anyway, the point of that is that social media is a gift and a curse, but there's an age for it. And I don't think that 10 and 12-year-olds should be on social media. I'm sorry. It's every parent has their own choice of what they would like to do. But at that age, these kids are so impressionable. They're already at school trying to follow their friends, right? Oh, she has this. Remember when we were growing up, like we were like jealous if these kids had like Jordans on? These kids are pulling up to junior high school with Gucci. Okay? They got Gucci. Either their parents are really, truly working hard or their uncle is a scammer. So the level of impressionable things they're seeing is already at a max. And now we have to deal with social media. Anyway, the teacher was saying the kids are illiterate. These kids who are going to be our presidents, our Eric Adams, our Kathy Houchels, cannot read. They literally can't read. It's too much screen time. Let's limit the screen time. Pull it back. We cannot depend on the schools to do everything. Schools are a great resource, right? And teachers are underpaid. Please pay the teachers. How can we vote on that? I cannot imagine being a teacher. I got one kid and I'll be ready to choke slam her. Imagine 20 of them. Who keeps saying, why, squirrel, why? You cannot rely on the schools to do everything. And I get it. Like, some parents don't have the luxury. Like, they're literally working 2 and 3 jobs to put food on the table, to keep the lights on, to keep the kids in a home. But what are the resources? Do you have like your neighbors who can help? Do you have like where your best friend at? Where are the godparents? Y'all think the godparents are here to buy gifts. That's not what godparents are for. Ask the godparents to read a book to your kid. Like, hey, can you and my kid read a book together? Y'all read a chapter per week and y'all call each other once a week and recap on the chapter. Let's use people in our lives for things that are useful. These kids are illiterate. That's scary. It's scary that these kids can't read. First of all, my homegirl just told me by the time they're in kindergarten, they need to know 100 sight words. Do I gotta start now? Please, guys, don't let your kids get on these Instagrams, okay? My nephew's 23 and told me that TikTok recipe did not give him the directions that I gave him. Although he's eating the food, I think it was lamb chops I think he was making. He's eating my lamb chops. He likes them. Found a recipe. I'm like, oh yeah, that's similar. Just do this. We need to bring the PALs back. They used to go there after school, do a little homework. Me and my friends, we used to like have battles, like who could get the highest grades, who can get the most A's. Like, that was fun. These kids, they don't even care about school. Parents, it starts with us. It starts with us. We got to do better. Let's try to read. Even if your kids cannot read, give them a book and tell me what's happening on this page. How does this person feel? What is this color? How many me things are reading a book and I'm like, you know, we keep reading the same book. I had to make it more interesting. So one day I'll read the book and the next day I'll just ask a bunch of questions. How many elves are on this page? Now we're doing reading and math. Like, let's mix it up. And then you came home and you said, oh, I should get a Facebook. Oops. Besides the teachers being goofy, the parents of these new kids are 15. Oh my God. The parents are having kids young and kids raising kids, or parents in denial. If you know you got a badass kid, do not lie like my kid would never. Yes, Daniel would. Yes, Daniel would. Yes, Isaiah did. Isaiah's my nephew. His mom used to always go to the schools. He got kicked out of like 4 private schools because his mom used to go to the schools and lie. He used to be fighting, acting up, because she was a terrorist. So she was causing a lot of dismay in his life. And he was just taking his anger out in school. And she would always say, my son would never do that. And we would be like, you must not know him. If the school said he did it, he did that shit. He's guilty. He's guilty. Parents are expecting their kids to be accountable. They're not even accountable adults. I have a 7th grader whose grades are terrible, and he smokes and hangs out all day. These kids are smoking, child. What in the world? They don't even teach cursive. Yes, I remember that they stopped teaching cursive or phonics. They don't write or read in cursive anymore. School starts at home. Yes, get your kid a book. People say read to the baby while they're in the womb. I ain't really got time to be playing them kind of games. I'm not reading to baby boy Crawford while he's in the womb. Okay, he can hear me talking enough, and he hears me reading to his sister every night. But since the day Phoenix came out and could open those big bright eyes, I would just read little books to her. So that in her mind, a book was a toy. She's so interested. You have to make it fun. Don't read to your kids in this monotone. Don't say, itsy bitsy spider went up the what? No, the itsy bitsy what? You gotta remix it. Add a little DMX if you need to. Anyway, pay those teachers. They're not getting paid, so they got kids braiding their hair and unbraiding their hair. Where they daddies at? Boy, that boy need to get his ass beat. Also, kids do as you do, and they do not do as you say. We are examples of that, right? Our parents would say, you need to, I don't know, sweep the floor. And you're like, I ain't see this nigga sweep the floor ever since he been living here, right? Kids are visual. Oh, sorry, I'm getting kicked in the belly button. They do as you do. Another thing is, like, I think that Phoenix likes to read because she's been seeing me read. I have now become a fiction reader again. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I've been posting, like, books I've been reading. It feels like high school all over again. Do you guys remember when we were reading all those inappropriate books that we should not have? Coldest Winter Ever. If my mother knew what the hell I was reading in 9th and 10th grade, she would have had a heart attack. But in her mind, she was so proud that every morning, me and my girlfriends at 7 a.m. were just reading and flipping pages. Meanwhile, we're reading about all types of sex that we're not having. We have no clue what anything is. But they were just so proud that we were reading. Let's bring reading back. If your kid needs to read a little erotica book to get the words, do what you got to do. Let's bring reading back. Reading has also formed a whole new community. I was in a book club before. It's called the Brownies. And they both relocated to LA, so it changed the dynamics. But I still enjoy reading a hard copy, and now I finally found my love for Audible. So I am back to reading, which is really fun because then people are writing like, oh, was it good? How was it? We're like sharing, topics, sharing books. Me and my friend Alize's sister and her best friend were like talking about like this character that we're both in love with. And I'm like, girl, I'm married, but in my next life, I'm going to find this character and I'm going to marry him because he was just a really good guy. Chat GPT is literally going to get these kids expelled. Talk about, well, I guess you can't really plagiarize with Chat GPT, right? Wow. I don't know. Everything is at a click of a button in school. That's also true, Kim. These kids have so much access. And guess what? They use Siri. They don't read. They say, Siri, how do you spell stethoscope? How do you spell Kathy Houchel computer? I never heard of that. They're asking Siri. Siri be having attitude sometimes. Anyway, guys, about to wrap up soon. Another thing in Hot Topics was Shawnee Henderson and her preacher of a husband. Let's talk about him real quick. So Shawnee's former wife of Shaquille O'Neal. They share 6 kids together. She's not married to a pastor. I can't remember his name. Something Henderson. He, was in church. He's a pastor. He's preaching. And somebody's worshiping. And they begin to cry. Almost a crying tone. And he goes, shh, hey, be quiet. Snaps him out. People in the comments going ham. They hate these new pastors. They're rude. They're disrespectful. They do things for clout. He then goes on the Tamron Hall show to say that he knows the difference between worship and disruption. Woo. Now, I may not agree with his actions, but one thing my mother has always told me, if you need a place to hide at night and you don't want to be afraid, don't go to no church, girl. You're better off in a cemetery, because the devils go to the church at night. The devils, their souls, the bad people in this world, they want repentance. They want deliverance. They want to go to heaven. Some people are stuck in this dimension for a little while. Everyone, when you die, you don't just automatically go to heaven or go to hell. Sometimes you have to wait here until it's your time, right? Some people are truly killed before their time. I don't want to get too deep on y'all because y'all niggas ain't ready for this. But the point is that devils go to church, just like you and I. Y'all, who are the meanest people? Them churchgoers, boy. A couple of my friends started reading the Bible recently, within the last 3-4 years, and they the meanest ones, the most judgmental. Like, the Bible doesn't tell you to judge other people. The Bible is a book written by a man. So the Bible, just like everything else, is you take the meat and throw out the bones. You use what applies to you. You squint at some stuff. Like, it's subjective. The point of the Bible is to be a good person, to do good in the world, right? Those lessons are in the Bible and the Quran and the Book of Mormon. It's all the same shit. Be a good person are the fundamentals of every religion. They just use religion to divide us, but whatever. Anyway, the point is that Shawnee O'Neal has released a book which will come out this Friday, and she discussed, her husband, he said that, there's demons. Let me catch up to your comments. Take it there. Don't get me started on the word. Vanita said, you can't spell. Vanita said, you can't spell a word. Oh yeah, Alexa, Google. Oh yeah, Keon is his name. Keon is the guy's name. So, and our God is not one of confusion. If we don't know if she's in pain or worship, then it's confusing, baby. Yeah, the thing with that woman was that he also mentioned that she gives trouble in church often. And so he's like, that wasn't the first time. He said, I've had, he said he's had the worship leaders approach her. He's had the people who collect the coins approach her. He's had multiple people approach her about her behavior in church. So the reality is that she could genuinely be worshiping, or she could be a pain in the ass. She knows it's on TV. She wants to be seen. She wants to be heard. She knows if she's howling and acting a fool, the camera's going to shift to her. And she could also be mean as hell. Like, those people, they're really nice. And then as soon as church is over, they cursing your kids out, talking about your man. And everyone ain't nice, church or not. Pray for that woman. I want to know, if she keeps going to church, to that church in particular, then I'm going to believe what he said. Because if I'm a good person, I'm here to worship, and you do that to me, I will never come back. If I keep coming back, I'm looking for trouble. She might be Satan for real, but we don't know. We're going to pray for her. Anyway, something that Shawnee O'Neal revealed in her book that was a hot topic for whatever ignorant reason was that she said that she realized after she was divorced with Shaq that she never was in love with him. She loved him as a person. She loved the family they built. She loved the kids they had, the life they lived. She loved building with him. But it was after they broke up that she realized she never had a partner. She had somebody who was rich and who essentially paid and owned everything. And when he left, she realized, like, dang, I literally have no job. I have no money. I have nothing. And people were in the comments like, oh, after you had them 5 kids, now you realize you're not in love with him. Are y'all dumb? Are y'all dumb? Have you ever had sex with somebody and you thought it was all of that, and then you had sex with somebody else and you realize, like, whoa, this is what I've been missing? Or have you ever went to a gym class and it was mediocre, and then you had another gym instructor who really brought that out of you, and you're like, oh my God. Sometimes we don't know where we're missing, right? Which is why they tell you don't have sex before marriage, because they don't want you to even know what's out there. They want you to get stuck with whatever trash you go get. Don't do that, ladies. But people need to understand that some people may never experience true love, or being in love, or knowing truly what that looks like, right? We have this imagery from social media, from books and fairy tales. And Anita Baker has a song, like, she's like, my mom never told me that he would yell, scream, and shout. Like, this is not the fairy tale. Like, her mom didn't give her the reality of marriage, right? Like, that it's not always peaches and cream. Tamar Braxton, her song Love and War, like, we were just talking a minute ago and now we arguing. That's literally how fast it happens in your relationship. You thinking you about to have a chat with your man, and your man done pull the guns out. He here for the war. He been holding in some shit. So there are people coming at her being ignorant. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all go and have 5 kids with somebody who you was at the end wasn't really that into you. Or, like she said, she now is in a marriage where there's a true partnership, where she sees 50-50 and she's like, whoa, I never had this. Before we go, I want to remind y'all, this still ain't Texas. I'm still not listening to Beyonce. Anyway, guys, this was a wrap for season 2 and our hot topics. I hope that I made you guys laugh and entertained you and we learned some stuff. I'm definitely going to post the congestion pricing map because you guys need to see that. I need to post this raggedy teacher who still need his ass beat. What else? It's still go Knicks. Come on, if you're from New York, let's go Knicks. It's an election year. Go vote. Come on. And if the government is watching, because I know the feds, they be on my stuff. Y'all can ban TikTok in 2025. Let's get through this election year. Let's get Gen Z to vote. If your kid is under 13, under 14, first of all, I couldn't have a boyfriend until I was 16. Supposedly. And I still had one. So kids are able to sneak and do things. But my friend, like, she has her daughter's codes. Her daughter tried to, like, get on FaceTime the other day. So guess what she did? She went and got her a Walmart phone. You won't be FaceTiming nobody. You are the parents. You are in charge of controlling these kids. They have too much access. Remember when you used to have to sneak to the room with the cable box and put on channel 69 to see porn? Guess what they got to do? Go to TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. They got sex on Twitter, y'all. Watch your kids, please. So we don't want any kids on social media. We're not voting for Kathy until she goes to the Bronx and meets all the kids who have computers. Eric Adams, I got nothing for you. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And again, as I said in the beginning, support looks different, right? Everyone doesn't always have time to come and sit and watch my videos. But during the week, if you can, please go like my video, comment on it. All of that helps to get it out more. And it's a passion project for me, so it means a lot. I'll keep you guys posted of when I have my beautiful son. 10 fingers, 10 toes. I'm going to bite one of them toes. Well, he been kicking me crazy. But I hope everybody has a good night. And thank you so much for helping me with another season of Who Cares What I Think. I still can't believe I'm doing this. I enjoy it so, so much. And I really couldn't do it without my consistent friends and family and all the newbies who have joined me. Next season, I definitely want to bring on... I want to start off hot. I want to talk about postpartum depression. I want to talk about fibroids. I want to talk about women's health ultimately because I don't know if you guys caught my Instagram story where my doctor forgot that she didn't tell me that I have a fibroid. And she tried to mention it in passing. She literally said, "When is your next appointment?" I said, "Oh, I have a 28-week appointment in a couple weeks." She's like, "Oh, they're gonna tell you about your fibroid there if it grew." I said, "No, I don't have a fibroid." And then she proceeded to tell me, "Yes, I did." Then she looked at my chart and said, "Oh yeah, it's 2 centimeters." So just for an update, I had my doctor's appointment this last Tuesday, and the fibroid has not grown. Thank God. It's still only 1, and hopefully God dissolves it and it goes to hell where the hell it belongs. But I definitely want to have a female nurse or doctor come on and just give us more information about women's health and also men's health, because y'all out here giving women HPV. Let's not forget about that. But thank you guys again. Please go like my videos if you haven't liked any of them. I don't care if you don't watch them. Go like them. Support your girl. Because when I get on, I don't want to hear, oh, Kat be acting funny. She used to chill with me. Now she don't. You didn't like one video. I didn't ask you to watch it. I just asked you to like it. Good night, guys.